Joe Tacopina joins us now. Of course, he's representing Deborah Bradley and her husband, Jeremy Irwin. Also, private investigator Bill Stanton has been working with the family. And you remember Bill as our former GMA security consultant. Thanks for coming in. Right, guys. And Joe, let me begin with you. Is it fair to assume that you wouldn't have taken on this case if you thought the parents had anything to do with the disappearance?
You don't have to assume it. I'm telling you that. It took me over a week. I've been speaking to this family, investigators, for over a week. And I did not want to get into this case if I believed they were guilty, because it's not the sort of case for me. That being said, understanding the evidence, understanding things that have not even been put out there yet, and spending time with them and really understanding them and getting a visceral reaction that was very intense, there's no question in my mind that that Deborah and Jeremy had nothing to do.
What is the evidence that convinces you that we haven't seen?
Well, there are some things that have been shared with PD that I'm not going to reveal at this point, but there is enough that clearly eliminates them in my mind. Some of their actions, their candor, their immediacy of their actions, things that were amiss in the house when Jeremy came home. There's no question.
Well, you talk about their candor, but we just found out over the weekend, and we have to address these questions, that Lisa did say she had been drinking.
Sure.
Fairly heavily.
And that was, she's saying that.
Did she black out?
You know, I don't, blacking out's a scientific term, and I don't know if we could say that, but she had some wine that night. I mean, and don't forget, it was Lisa. I mean, rather, it was Deborah who said that. When she put Lisa to bed, she had wine. So the fact that she's acknowledging that, I mean, there was no videotape.
Created a new 4-hour gap in the timeline as well.
No, and that's another thing that's been put out there, and there's not a 4-hour gap.
Well, why not?
Well, there's not, because what she said was she put the baby to bed at around 6:30. At one point during one of the 13 hours of interview, she had said she believed she checked on her at 10:30. It's not an inconsistency. It may be a recollection refreshed at some later point, but it's certainly not material to whether or not she had anything to do with the disappearance of her baby. Other witnesses were there that fixed the timelines.
So you've been working on this case now
Yes,
for several days now, close to a week, 18 to 20 hours a day. Where is the evidence leading you?
It's leading me outside the home. When I first came here, George, I told that family I am not working for them. If you remember, I kept saying my client's the truth and I'm going to go where the truth takes me. So you go in with an open mind. And the more I'm doing an optic on this, and it's not just me, it's my team, we are starting to look outside the home. And my feeling is that baby is alive, someone has her, and I'm praying to God.
Do you have any proof that the baby's alive?
No, that's my feeling, that the baby is alive. Well, when you look at the statistics, no one's taking a 10-month-old to do harm. They're taking it, I would say, either trafficking or to have their own.
Well, and that is obviously all of our hopes. Why aren't you at liberty to reveal who's paying your bills here?
Well, I have an anonymous donor, and that person wishes to stay anonymous because they want the focus, along with the reward, to stay on Lisa and a retrieval of this beautiful baby. And it's as simple as that. They don't want any accolades. They're charitable people, and there's a tie to the family. It's not like coming out of left field. There is a direct tie to that family.
And Joe, you're so convinced that the parents have nothing to do with this. So why are the other family members so convinced they're going to be arrested?
Because of some of the conduct by some of the investigating police officers. I'm not talking about the FBI, I mean, but some of the local police officers in this case have conducted themselves in a way that, to me, is baffling.
What have they done that's wrong?
For instance, within hours of their reporting this baby missing, which was instantaneously, where Deborah was trembling, one of the interrogators, I'll call them, actually accused her of murdering her baby. Without a stitch of proof, within hours. Now just imagine for a second, assume that this baby was kidnapped or taken, and this mother, who's in terror, is being accused without any evidence by the person who's supposed to be helping her find her baby of committing a murder. It's unbelievable to me that could even go on. And I'm not casting aspersions on the entire KCPD. They're doing their job, and they want to find Lisa.
And George, you have to understand, you know, these minute dispersions or misspoken words. You have PD, FBI, family, friends, the spouse constantly questioning. You start to question yourself. And that is with any witness in any crime.
Deborah says that her other two kids heard noises the night baby Lisa disappeared. What more can you tell us about that?
Well, they heard some clicking noises. One of the boys heard some clicking noises, and they were fully vetted and interviewed by the PD. It's my understanding. I firmly believe someone from outside the home has taken this child. And when they do the searches and they come up with nothing, that is nothing but encouraging to me that this baby is safe.
Do the parents have a hunch? Do they think they know who took the baby?
They have theories. You know, they've gone through in their head scenarios and a list of people, quite frankly. You know, I've heard recently they're now looking for an individual who was a homeless person who was in the area and now has disappeared. You know,
that was the person we first heard about right after the incident, correct?
There was another report I read yesterday, a recent one. And again, George, this is the problem with these cases. There's such a quest for information, and you just have to distinguish what's real and what's not. And they don't know, but all they want is information. I mean, look, they're going around. They have these shirts made up with the tip line number. I mean, this beautiful little girl is out there, hopefully. They have a Facebook page, and they have a call-in number. And all they want, I mean, the priority and the focus has to remain on finding this girl.
Store owners in the area, anybody unusual buying baby food that they've never seen, buying before, etc. That's what you need to look out for.
Well, we all hope baby Lisa turns up. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.